Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Let's get ready to be at our best now. Be at our best.
Yeah, it's gonna be a boring one today.
Those guys don't all suck.
You son of a B!
ASAP, any score, any place, you know we bring it up. We bout there. We'll pull up on anybody and get it done.
Suck it, Raiders.
He is dead.
I love you, Jeff. Bye.
Joe, start fast.
They the next team on our schedule, and we trying to do something big here. We trying to win a Super Bowl.
Another beautiful day.
Hey everybody, this is Charger Chat. I'm your co-host Wolldog, sitting with my two buddies, Kev Hug and Duggan.
What's up, my brothers from another mother and my brother with the same mother?
And Kyle the Coach Duggan.
The brother with the same mother. What's up, guys?
The aforementioned brother with the same mother. Welcome back, everybody. We are here at episode 35. Charger Chat, still pushing
35.
strong.
Yeah,
Yes,
35,
it's
baby.
a milestone. So, we've got plenty to talk about here, but first and foremost, as we always do, what has been going on in the lives of the brothers Duggan?
I will go first. So,
Yes.
enjoying COVID lockdown and just the
Enjoying?
craziness of it. I just like it's almost just becoming comical now. Like I go on like runs around my neighborhood. I pass someone and they like scurry off the sidewalk into the street
Dive
and
into the
pull
bushes.
pull their masks on, and I'm like, dude, I wasn't gonna like cough on you. Relax, I'm running here. I don't know.
Right.
It's all gotten too much for me. So yeah, enjoying it now. We just recently sleep trained my 6-month-old son, so life
Excellent.
is good now. We're recording this podcast at night. Both my sons are asleep in their cribs, and it's just like I'm a whole new man. My wife's currently doing yoga right now, right next to me, so I'm a little distracted. But
That's all right.
yeah, it's good. Yeah, life is good, man. I'm excited, and it sounds like we have some reports that football might actually happen, and maybe fans. I don't know, but
Don't tease me.
things are working in the
Don't
right
tease me
direction.
just
So
yet.
things are
Yes.
good. What about you, Wolldog?
Just staying strong, staying heavy. I told a story earlier. I'll kind of give the Cliff Notes version to my buddies, but turns out that there was another guy that does voiceover that has the exact same name as I do, but with a 1-letter difference. And I had somebody calling me, telling me that they wanted to use my audition when it wasn't my audition. It was this other
That's
guy
crazy.
that has the exact same name as
Dude,
me,
you got to have a
minus one
voice
letter.
off. You
Yeah.
guys got to like read us all a book and we'll decide who gets to keep the name.
It's like Zoolander when they do the walk off. They do their
There you go.
catwalk, and
I
he
guess
pulls
we
his
could-
underwear
Talk off.
out of his pants. Yeah.
Oh,
you guys have to do some kind
You
of
gotta-
voice off. You see,
What's your blue steel of words?
Yeah, like
give us your
oh.
blue steel. Give us something.
Jeez. Coming this summer. I don't know. I
Nice.
don't have a,
you
I don't have
you
a
do the
blue
movie guy
steel.
voice too? Hell
we could
yeah.
we could do like multiple
Coming
competitions, like
this summer.
trying to scare.
They thought they were brothers. Little did they know they had the same mother.
You're hired. I'd hire
Yeah.
you if I was looking for a
Sure.
voiceover artist.
That's awesome.
Done deal.
Coming this summer. Huggin and Coach. But yeah, that's been revelatory. That was something that fell in my lap, and I just I'm still bugged by it. Like, I can't believe that. I mean, I understood that there were other guys out there that had the same name as me, but not in the same profession as me.
Right.
So this
Yeah.
has really just kind of like thrown me a bit for a loop. But
Did you think about taking the audition and just be like, oh yeah, that's me. What else?
I didn't take it, but I let them know because they told me, they were like, we've sent you some messages. And I'm like, I've not received any messages from you. I don't know what you're talking about. So obviously, I'm not trying to slam this other guy, but he's
You
not
suck.
as responsive
He's
as
not
I
honest.
am. So
Yeah. Not quite as
I told him, I
professional.
said, if you want, I'd be more than happy to send an audition. And if you want me to take a shot at it. I have yet to hear back from them. So, but that's what's been going on with me, Mr. Huggin. How are you holding up? How is your
I'm-
hair? How is your child? How is
They're-
your wife?
They're all good. Crazy thing happened as I got a work. Hopefully, will kick up here pretty soon. But I'm gonna shoot a horror movie remotely. So all the actors are gonna be on Skype and Zoom, and I have to walk them through lighting, camera placement, all this crazy stuff. So it's something I never thought I'd be making a movie on. Computer cameras and iPhones and stuff. But the day has come. The day has come, my boys, and we'll
That's
see how it
hilarious.
goes. So that's something coming up in a couple of weeks. So it'll be fun.
Good luck.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's welcome to 2020, folks, where our movies are shot on Zoom.
Yep, that's it, man. You're gonna have. I guarantee you, because I have a little insider baseball on this right now, just getting a part of this. There's a lot of productions, a lot of movies
No
being
doubt.
made right now that are going to be made this exact way. So you're gonna have I would say in about 8 months, there's gonna be just this litany of Zoom movies coming out, and
No
hopefully,
doubt.
hopefully, ours is
it's
better
already
than
Saturday
yours.
Night Live. That's how they're doing their show.
Yeah.
Like, it's no doubt that a movie is in the works, if not multiple.
Yeah, so
So,
will be interesting. We'll see.
congrats, folks.
Yeah.
2020, the year of the Zoom movies.
That's right.
But we're not here to talk about Zoom movies. We're here to talk about Chargers. That's
Damn
what we're
straight.
chatting about. So, as far as what's been going on in the league-wide, California Governor Gavin Newsom has expressed doubt about when sports would return, but on Monday, in a statement, Newsom said professional sports could return in California by the first week of June, but without fans, with modifications and very prescriptive conditions. This comment will stand as long as there are no spikes in coronavirus cases, which is great.
Yeah, it's huge because California's
It's
been
huge.
super hella lame, and for a good reason. Just locking everyone
Right.
down more so. It just so happens our team's in California, and I just thank God he's coming to his senses a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there was an article that came out and it made me throw up in my mouth a little bit where it talked about the Chargers possibly playing in Vegas in the
Yeah.
Raiders Stadium
And the Roomba.
in the f***ing black toilet. Because of every state having its own set of rules essentially for how they're going to let players play, that they could potentially take the players to a whole nother state and play, which honestly, Chargers, if you're going to play in another state, Idaho's got the BSU stadium with blue turf. I'd be more than happy to paint a lightning bolt somewhere on the field for you. Don't go to Vegas. God, please. But this is great development that could possibly lead to at least the Chargers staying within California to play. Whether or not all three of us will be able to get together to see a game has yet to be determined. Fingers are crossed that it happens. Live in hope and die in despair.
We're trending in the right direction.
Right,
If anything,
exactly.
that Atlanta Falcons game, we're trending correctly in that direction.
Right.
So
Last week we were playing all of our games in Vegas. Now at least there's no fans yet, but we're in LA.
We're staying
Yes.
within the state line.
Yeah.
exactly.
So excellent news there out of California. And then NFL's testing some modified masks, if you can believe it.
That's
Of
what Kyle
course.
said last week.
Dude,
That's
I
insane.
spoke
I
this
don't
into
understand.
existence. They're gonna be like Darth Vader masks, dude. Oakley's trying to develop things that cover the whole face mask.
Dude, they were gonna be playing in motorcycle helmets. It's gonna be bizarre as hell. What are you gonna do? Everyone's gonna have visors. Everyone's gonna have a
Yep.
visor under their face mask. I think there's gonna be some people passing out for sure if they do that shit.
Right. I mean, it only takes one to malfunction for it to become an issue. And
Yeah.
I don't know. That'll be really interesting.
It could look
do.
pretty cool though. Like it could look
I bet it
straight
would
Predator.
look awesome.
You know,
Yeah, it's coming out of Oakley.
Yeah.
Oakley's not about giving a bad look. They're
Yeah.
going to make it look freaking neat. But
it'd
Yeah.
be pretty scary to see.
yeah, you can't see their eyes. You can't,
Nothing.
probably can't even hear them. You probably can't hear a word.
It's gonna be hard communicating calls on defense or the quarterback. You won't be there'll be a lot of offsides penalties going on
He's
this
got a
one.
little trap door in the front that he calls it out and then
Yeah.
he puts it back up whenever
He,
he
pulls it
starts
out.
to play.
It's gives him a little whistle.
Yes.
Or
So,
they
I
go
don't know.
college with the clap. You guys know that the clap cadence in college?
Yeah,
Yeah, they don't even
that's
say
Herbert's. Maybe we start
There's-
Herbert then because that was his
Yeah.
jam.
there's no verbal cadence. They fake clap to try to draw them off sides, and then they'll clap, and that's the
Oh,
that's how
that.
they,
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, are you talking about the STD? Like, I don't know about this. Like, what are you talking about? The clap.
Yeah, draw 'em
Everyone on
off
the
with the
team
clap.
gets it. Once it flares, you hike the ball.
Then you hike it.
Once everyone peaks,
we
we
sink
got
our
to flatten the
clap.
curve with the play.
Let's see what else we've got. Goodell gave the 32 clubs the go-ahead for limited reopenings as long as state and local municipalities allow them. This will mainly be used for rehabbing players.
How do you do that though? Because like some of these states are going to be shut down. Like, why would you allow like the Chiefs, where I'm in Missouri, everything's like opening up, they can go get rehabbed and all this stuff when Chargers can't? Like, how do you keep that fair amongst the teams where everyone's getting equal, opportunities to like rehab or whatever you need to do when you go into the facility? I don't see how that's fair to open some early and some later just based on government control.
Clarify for me, because I don't understand. When it's talking about rehabbing players, are we talking about players that are hurt and just getting them back in their
It's like
peak condition?
You're just allowed to. You can go use the facilities and lift and work out, and the trainers are there, and
Okay.
your team physicians, and they can you can get massages, and you go in for treatment, and you don't have to have like a huge injury that you're rebounding off of. If you just need treatment, you can go in and get it. So yeah, I don't know how it's fair, but if you're the NFL, you don't have any control of the state government. So if you're
Right.
deciding that for us, it's we're okay with this happening, then you open it up, and then state by state you do it. Or if you're in a state that doesn't allow it, like we already saw, if you really, really want to have that advantage, you go to a different state and make it happen.
Well, I think given the current state of affairs for not just our country but worldwide, I think it's an opportunity for just some good sportsmanship and allowing
Yeah.
if the opportunity for Mike Pouncey to be able to go back and get his neck rehabbed
Right.
because he freaking broke it last year.
whatever it
I
was.
think everybody will give him a pass to let the guy get a massage or a workout or whatever. I don't think it's necessarily going to give any team the edge over another, but California's potentially allowing them, at least the Chargers, to be able to go and work out, hopefully within the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So
Fingers
it
crossed.
wouldn't even be something for us to be concerned about. So, but an interesting topic.
We just got to keep an eye on like what the cases are looking like in California right now. So hopefully that doesn't
Right.
surge in the next week, because if that does, it's gonna basically reset everything, which would suck.
But if it does surge, then it wasn't have anything to do with this, because this has an incubation of 14 days. So
Right.
And then that's what's funny is like things are going back right now, and they're like, oh, the cases are going up. How have they gone up yet? No one could possibly be showing symptoms yet if we've only been back together for a week.
Yeah.
Well, Kyle, you live in California.
Yeah.
I thought I heard recently that the stay-at-home order was going until August. Is that true?
I don't know. I really don't know. Things are slowly starting to open around us. I don't know if it's people fed up and they're just opening, but there's definitely more cars out on the road, and beaches are open that you can go to, not reservoirs like Miramar Reservoir, which we do runs around. That just opened up this week. So stuff's slowly starting to open up for sure. It's definitely not like stay at home, never leave the house. It's kind of starting to loosen up a little bit.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, something to keep an eye on, folks. And now, more specifically with the Chargers, great news that we heard. Mr. Mike Pouncey, as I mentioned earlier, broke his neck last year, week 5. Or I don't know if he broke it. Maybe it was just a fracture. Something.
I don't think he
that-
broke. They didn't really say specifically what he did. He just
It
had
was
to have
some
surgery.
kind of a neck injury, though.
He had to have surgery, but I don't know what specifically it was. They haven't really addressed that. It
Mhm.
was something that's serious enough where it might have ended his career. So the
Right.
fact that he's fully cleared and
fully cleared.
good to go, like that is just such a huge. Honestly, in my mind, I wasn't thinking about the center position. I was just like, yeah, Pouncey will be there. It'll be fine.
Right.
Like it wasn't even like on my radar, but now it's like he's cleared. I'm like, oh, I wasn't worried about this, but thank God that he is cleared and okay, because that's just
Right.
it's just great. So
Right.
I'm super pumped for him.
Yeah, it was a position that I think we all. I feel like, I don't know, maybe this was just me. I felt like, yeah, Mike Pouncey will be back, like you said. Like there wasn't even a thought of like a concern, but to get the official word is absolutely a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
So
What I did like Questenberry. I thought he was a stud. He was like the San Diego fan when he was a child. His
Yeah.
family
Sure.
had all the the Charger gear up around their house. He was like a huge Phil Rivers fan, and he got to snap to him. So I like Questenberry, but Pouncey is Mike Pouncey.
Yeah,
So
no,
getting him back
absolutely.
is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
he's all pro. So I think our line is sick.
yeah, it's just good to know that our depth actually has some talent.
Yeah. And experience. Yeah.
exactly, and experience. So it's just, that, I mean, our line, ask any Charger fan, that's always been a concern. It seems like year after year. And to know that we at least have some talent that can back up Pouncey and take a couple snaps if he needs to take a break, that we're not holding our breath when
Yeah.
we see that big Q sitting
Yeah.
in the center. So
He almost had a full season, so Questenberry,
Right.
will be a serviceable guy if something were to happen. Knock on wood, it doesn't.
absolutely. Knock on wood, we don't have to deal with it. But we've also seen a lot of training from our fellow Chargers, with COVID-19 being the hot topic of the year. Everybody's had to do training at home, including one of our newest fullbacks, Mr. Bobby Holly, showing off on Instagram his strength ability pulling a truck.
I was like, what the hell?
Not
That was
only was he-
amazing.
Yeah, not only was he pulling a truck, but it started to go too fast, and he was like telling the driver to push the brakes. He's like, the
Brakes,
brakes.
Where are the brakes? No, yeah, he's a big guy.
Yeah.
He's if there was a competition in pulling trucks, he would win, but that doesn't mean he's a good football
Right.
player. But it's good to see with like the ghetto home training people are doing, like, let's go pull some trucks, I guess.
Right. Let me bench the dog. I mean, whatever you got to do, improvise. You find different ways to improve your strength. And another Charger that we saw that was doing some great home workouts was Mr. Mike Williams, catching balls in the back of his house with the ball machine. What is it called?
Jugs machine.
Jugs machine.
Yeah.
The little machine that shoots footballs out. I mean, he's standing, I don't know, maybe 15 feet,
Dude, it's
20
like
feet away.
point blank. I've never caught off one of those things before, but they were hauling. They were hauling,
Right.
and
They're
he was
flying
making crazy like Odell Beckham
one-handed,
catches.
just grabs, just plucking it out of the air like it's nothing. Just like, this is mine, and this is mine, and this is mine. Just grabbing them left and right. Like, it was really impressive. So, good to see him staying on top of his game. And then a bit of news kind of came out. It's not really news. I mean, there was always a lot of rumblings in the realm of rumors about the Chargers possibly signing Cam Newton. And I think, honestly, with the amount of cap space that we had, the idea of signing Cam Newton to the Chargers it seemed ridiculous, and it turned out to be that way. But we finally got some official word from the coach in regards to Cam, and he had this to say. Absolutely, Cam is a tremendous quarterback. He's been MVP of this league. He's led the team to the Super Bowl, and he's healthy now. From what I hear, Cam is going to be on somebody's roster, and he's going to help somebody win a few games. But yeah, we did take a look at that for sure, and pretty much punctuated it with, I feel really good about the quarterback room that we have, or that I have, said Lynn. So
It's just interesting. I feel like maybe Cam Newton was just a real pain in the ass in Carolina. It just seems like he has a reputation for just being a pain in the ass. Like, you kind of hear it like from the other coaches, and like getting rid of him this last year. It feels like the new leadership there didn't want to deal with his shit, for lack of a better word. Did you get that feeling at all, Kyle?
I think that if I was the first time head coach, that'd be a pretty polarizing quarterback to have to deal with. And from what we've heard of how Cam Newton kind of goes about his business, I don't know if it's you have to earn his respect or he needs to really believe in you, but it doesn't seem like that comes very quick for him. So a 1-year contract would have seemed kind of silly for a guy like Cam Newton, I feel. And that's all it would have been with the Chargers, because we were going to draft a quarterback in the first round with that 6th pick. So it would have been a 1-year deal for him to try to prove something. So yeah, the fit didn't really make sense here. And also, I think the reason he left Carolina is because the new head coach came in, and the management probably thought, you know what, it's probably best to give this guy a clean slate that he doesn't have to deal with. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know Cam Newton well enough. I don't follow the Panthers well enough, but it does seem like he does. I mean, he's just a polarizing personality that does a lot off field. It's not all just what's going on the field. So I just never saw that being a fit with the Chargers.
No,
But
you could see it in some of his post-game interviews as well. It just the
He's got a swagger.
it's just the attitude. Yeah,
yeah,
like
he just had this like I don't know. I just maybe it's not. I just the initial just right off the bad appearance and feeling I got was that he just wasn't going to be a good fit for like come in and win a Super Bowl this year. So that's what you're bringing him in for. You're bringing him in
Right.
to do something like that
to win
And
now.
if his if his energy and his vibe isn't right, that's why it's just weird he hasn't been picked up by another team. Like,
Right.
what's the next? When is that going to happen? Are they just waiting for practice to start and people to not perform well? Like, what is waiting for his price to go down? Like, when do people actually start signing him? Like, I don't even understand that.
honestly, I don't. If it's not the Patriots, which I don't think it's going to be, I think it's going to take somebody getting hurt, and they're in a good spot to make a run at the playoffs. And they're in a good spot, but their quarterback goes down, and so they sign Cam late in the season. But yeah, I don't know what that's going to look like.
Time will tell, but it surely will not be with the Chargers because we're sitting pretty good at our quarterback position. In fact, ESPN just recently came out with a projected roster for the Chargers, and we'll kind of just touch on that here a little bit to at least give everybody else a feel for how we're looking at each position. As it currently stands right now, in quarterback, Tyrod Taylor would be the starter. Justin Herbert sitting very closely behind him, and Easton Stick waiting in the wings for both of those guys to get hit by a truck. Austin Eckler is obviously our number one running back. Justin Jackson right behind him with Joshua Kelly. And this is the first time I've heard this name, Darius Bradwell.
He's not a part of the three horsemen of the Bolt Apocalypse. The Austin Eckler, Justin Jackson, and Joshua Kelly are going to be our running backs this year.
Apparently from Tulane College. I guess he was an undrafted free agent. And let's see, at wide receiver, obviously Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and this is ESPN. They're putting Andre Patton as one of our starter wide receivers.
That feels like just a placeholder. I think you drafted two guys that are easily going to step in there, and Joe Reed and KJ Hill. One of those two guys is going to be right there.
Right. One of those guys was argued as the steal of the draft. You cannot expect him to be sitting too far behind.
If Andre Patton was the number 3, we wouldn't have drafted 2 wide receivers.
Absolutely.
Fact.
I think he's just there because he's been with the team longer.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It seems like the easy placeholder.
He was the number 3 last year. That was his spot. So until somebody takes it, it's his.
Was it really? No.
Yeah.
It was.
No, Benjamin was number 3.
No.
He was hurt
He was-
half
he
3
was
quarters
hurt.
of the
Yeah.
season. Patton was the guy. He'd never made
Really?
any catches.
I was going to say, I don't remember his name getting called.
He had like a handful of catches, maybe. I don't know off the top of my head, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't
No.
substantial.
We didn't have a number 3.
All right. Well, there you go. In the tight end position, obviously Hunter Henry, Virgil Green, Stephen Anderson, and Andrew Vollert. I'm glad to see his name back up. I thought he was the one that got hurt in Miami, wasn't it?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad to see him back. And then in our line position, starting left tackle, shows Sam Tevy. However, I did just read an article from the Bleacher Report that touted Trey Pipkins as our best kept secret of the
Well, don't say
Chargers.
that. Don't you be telling everybody about it.
Don't tell anybody. Trey
Bleacher
Pipkins,
Report.
best kept secret.
Don't tell anyone. We had
Well-
this kid from a tiny school, and he played like 4
Right,
games
yeah.
last year.
Only allowed 4 sacks out of 250 plus snaps. So
Well, dude, this brings up a point. Bleacher Report has been real shitty to us lately. Like, super shitty. Like, they did an article on the team most likely to have the first round draft pick next year, and guess who they picked?
right.
Go fuck yourself. Go fuck
Right.
yourself.
You've got
Bleacher Report.
got certain organizations that saying that we're going to be the number 1 pick in the draft next year, and you've got other organizations that are saying we're going to be the next San Francisco 49ers going to the Super Bowl this year. So
Yeah.
it's like everybody's
Bleacher
just
Report's all
grasping at
in
straws.
on shitting on us right now, though. Like,
Just
Bleacher
leave us
Report has got
alone.
like the shit mode on the Chargers, and I just want you to pump the brakes.
Yeah, let
Bleacher
us be the
Report.
Chargers and just leave us alone. We'll fly under the radar. Don't
Right.
talk about us like you're used to.
Right. Go
Yeah.
back to looking at somebody else,
Yeah.
like Tom Brady. I don't care. But I will say Trey Pipkins being the 3rd round pick of last year is due for a good sophomore season. So Fingers crossed that he can come and perform because he's sitting behind Tevi at left tackle. In the guard position, we're looking at Feeney and Lamp. Fingers crossed those guys can come in. Man, Kevin, you sent me a picture of Lamp working out with some kids, and he looked to be about twice the width of one of those kids.
That's terrifying. Like he's a
He's a
massive
big boy.
person. He was supposed to be this huge, awesome upgrade for us. He's just been hurt.
I know.
Maybe this is the year where he steps up, and it's, and apparently he's very versatile, so you can put him all over the line. I even see him on the depth chart for left tackle as
Right.
So who knows? Who knows what that's going to do? And we have a new offensive line coach in Campen, so we'll see what he decides, what gets shaked out once everyone's actually physically in the room. But I think it'll be cool. But please continue, because the next three are like what makes our offensive line amazing, in my opinion.
Well, of course, when we look at the center position, we talk about Mike Pouncey, who is coming back. Then we've got Mr. Quisenberry sitting closely behind him. Right guard, we've got Trey Turner. And that's it.
At least on this depth chart, there's nobody behind him. They're counting on him.
Right. Technically, nobody, at least per ESPN, has anybody sitting behind Trey. But considering how versatile our line has been in the past with guys playing all over it, it's probably safe to say that, Trey or Trent or Sam or Forrest or any of those guys would be plugged right
somebody
in.
will be there. Somebody will be there.
Yeah.
But let's hope Trey
Somebody will be there.
doesn't miss any time.
No. Trey, multiple time Pro Bowler, should do just fine. And then, of course, Mr. Brian Balaga out of Iowa, coming in at right tackle. And Sam Tevi possibly having to sit at right tackle should the need arise. But those are our, there's other guys there. I didn't want to go into every single guy because there's some characters that I've never heard of and really don't care to talk about them, except for Storm Norton, who still has the best name on our team as the fourth stringer right tackle right now. But that's our offense. And let's take a look at defense. Who do we got starting over there?
Yeah, so on our base defense, so this is our 4-3 without any nickel or messing around with any of that, just our 4-3. It's Joey Bosa, Justin Jones, Linval Joseph, and Melvin Ingram up front, which I don't think there's any debate that that's going to be the front four.
Yeah, definitely.
The guys behind him, Rochelle is a solid pop and play guy. Jerry Tillery hopefully has a decent year. There's some younger guys on there that have an opportunity to prove themselves, but those four guys up front are the front four. There's not much debate there. Then at the linebacker positions, you have Denzel Perriman, Kenneth Murray, and Drew Tranquil, which there's just like so much dynamic to those three linebackers.
Oh, yeah.
It's just those three names.
Denzel's like just a thumper, and then
power, dude.
Yeah. And then Drew Tranquil is that like cover guy that can make plays in open space. And then Kenneth Murray does both. So it's like, that's an exciting position group for us. And even behind that, you got a lot of experience with Kaiser White now, third year on the squad. Nick Vigil, the guy we got from the Bengals. Uchenna Nwosu, who's more of an edge rush type guy, but so our linebacking core got very strong really quick with that Kenneth Murray pickup.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
At corner, Chris Harris and Casey Hayward are the two that they have starting. There has been debate that Chris Harris is going to be kind of a slot guy they're going to use in there, but that would necessitate Michael Davis to be out starting again. So in this base defense, this is just with two corners. Harris and Hayward are our two best, so that's who they have on there. And then it has Derwin James at strong and Nasir Adderley at free. This does not have Desmond King on our starting roster. This is if we are in our traditional 4-3, which we don't often run just that all the time. So, but Desmond King is not on there. And also Rayshawn Jenkins is already getting bumped for Nasir Adderley, according to ESPN. Nasir hasn't even played a snap, which is pretty...
And that's weird because Coach was talking so much about how much he loved Rayshawn Jenkins. Like he brought him up a lot in the offseason. So, it's fishy. Just right, it's first guest list, so who cares on it, really?
Yeah, right. It's just cool to see the depth. Like, there's people that are on here that are supposedly starting that we're like, no, they're not a starter. We have even more talent on the depth chart in there.
Totally.
So, I mean, you look at our overall, it's still hard that it's still that left side of the line is like a big, huge, fat question mark. But with Pouncey back, that that whole right side. Let's just run right, run right, run right, and roll right and throw right, and we'll be in good shape.
Well, and remind me, like, I remember Feeney just being a really good run blocker. I don't remember we were able to run on that side pretty well. So maybe it's just pass protection and like the traditional, not as mobile quarterback that they were having issues with. Maybe the new schemes and the new plans will help with kind of a more mobile quarterback. And then this issue, because everyone just keeps talking about this left tackle thing, because there's not any more glaring, issues on our roster. So it's like the easy thing to pick at. But who knows? Like one of these guys could have a really great year. Who knows? Storm Norton could come out of nowhere. Like there's so many who knows with this left tackle position that it's kind of hard, to just hate on it so hard right now. Let's get a little closer and see how things are developing, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, it's not a hating on it. It's just that's
most glaring
that's
problem.
the optimistic fan outlook is, oh yeah, these guys could have a career year, but they haven't yet. So there's not a whole lot to hang your hat on. Whereas the Brian Balaga, Trey Turner, Mike Pouncey, you have Pro Bowls that you're relying on. Now they could have a terrible year, but you're hoping that they perform to what they've done in the past. Whereas the Trey Pipkins, he's still a pumpkin. Like he could develop into that stud. You don't know yet. So it is a glare.
And there's been plenty of opportunity for the Chargers to sign an undrafted free agent at that position, and we've keep seeing them fall off and going to other teams. So you have to kind of hope that the coaches are aware of what that issue might be with the line and trust that they know what they're doing when they're not picking up those free agents and relying on the people that we have in the same way that they're relying on Tyrod Taylor to be the starting quarterback. There's been plenty of hate that's gone. Well, I won't say hate, but a lot of skepticism, I'll say, that goes for Tyrod being the starting quarterback. And as Kevin put out on that video, like there's a lot to go with Tyrod, and he just hasn't been given the opportunity. So the same could be said for the guys that are playing at the left tackle position, that, they've been given opportunity, but they've also been given opportunity during times when like the entire line is just banged up and having to put guys in positions that just aren't either ready or aren't prepared to play in those positions. So if everybody just stays healthy, please stay healthy, fingers crossed. It'll be interesting to see how everybody performs this year.
Yeah, there was something that came up kind of in our Charger news that I wanted to talk about that we didn't address yet. This Melvin Gordon comments that have come out as of late. I don't know if you guys heard.
What the hell is he saying now? No, what did he say now?
I'm not aware of this.
It came out recently that it said, here's what he said. It really didn't play out to my strengths, referring to his time with the Chargers, especially the first couple years there. He said, I kind of just had to adjust and make it work. It kind of wasn't a system built for me, but I feel like Denver kind of runs my style of football, and I think it's a great fit.
What does that even mean?
Why, dude,
that's what the sitting out for a contract has nothing to do with the style of football, Melvin.
No.
Right.
What a douche.
Even prior to that, what does that even mean? Like the style of football, like he's a running back. You run.
Yeah, I mean, like he wants more downhill, inside zone, just like hard-nosed bulldog football. That's what he wants to do. But it's like, okay, so what you're telling me is you're a one-dimensional running back and you should get paid less. That's what you're saying.
So essentially what you said.
You can't adapt and do everything. You can't catch the ball and run outside. So let's pay you $12 million a year. Sure, Melvin. You sound stupid.
He just keeps putting his foot in his mouth. He'll come out and do this stuff that it's like he just takes little pot shots at the Chargers for no reason.
Yeah,
he did. Like the video of like him packing up his boxes for like the Broncos release video and doing that kind of stuff. It's like, dude, like just taking unnecessary shots, and I just go disappear on the Broncos, you know what I mean?
Right.
I just
sit behind Lindsey on
go
on
chill
the
on the
Denver
bench,
team.
dude.
Right.
Over it.
Be ready for those goal line situations. But
sorry, I had to bring it up. It just
I didn't hear about that, so that's good to know that Melvin Gordon's still flapping his gums. And speaking of flapping gums, we had a unsuspected fan focus that one of us got to sit down with a borderline legend as it comes to Twitter. So, Kevin, what crossed your path I'd like to know.
I kind of would leave the interview to speak for itself, but it's a guy named Josh, and it was one of the best interviews of all time. So I guess
Excellent.
let's just hit it.
All right, jumping into it. Josh from LA talking to Mr. Huggin.
All right, well, I'm here with a very special guest. It's Josh from Los Angeles. How's it going, Josh? Thanks for coming on the show.
Oh, thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Absolutely. All right, well, every guest we bring on, the first question we ask them is, when did you become a Charger fan?
Well, I know the exact moment. It was 8:55 a.m. on January 12th, 2017. I'm from LA, and I had been, once Farmers Field was proposed, I thought, oh, a team's actually going to come here. And I looked around at the teams that might move, and San Diego Chargers was always one of the teams. I'm like, okay, this is not certain they will be here. So I kind of followed them, not much, but I was always hoping they would come. And the second they decided that they were actually going to move to Los Angeles was the second I decided I was going to be a fan.
That's awesome, man.
So,
it's cool to talk because I'm from San Diego. I grew up there my whole life. So everyone I talk to has been a fan since they were a baby. So it's really nice to hear from a new fan who came on board in the last couple of years. So not only can I say welcome and we're happy to have you, but yeah, we're super pumped. So I kind of found out about you through Twitter and some of the awesome stuff you've been doing and some of the stuff I've been seeing. So can you just kind of, tell the audience kind of like what your presence on Twitter has been like, and kind of tell me about that.
Okay, so my Twitter account is Go LA Bolts. It was about 2 years ago. Twitter was a very bad place to be as a Charger fan.
Yeah.
There were probably more people who hated the Chargers and were pissed off that they left than people who was like, oh, I like the Chargers. I'm happy they were here. And whenever I saw someone post something good about the Chargers, there would always be about 20 people who would go on their post and start yelling at them and saying, screw you, how can you support Dean Spanos, et cetera, et cetera. And it was a horrible place. And, I created a new Charger account in part for the purpose of fighting back.
I love it.
And, what I did is I actually collected a bunch of people on Twitter, a group of people who were fighting back on Twitter. We formed a group chat, and we started doing the resistance against these people. And over the past 2 years, we started beating them over and over and over and over until like most of the people gave up. They're not willing to attack Charger fans anymore because they know that, hey, if they attack us, they'll get called a pathetic crying loser or something like that. And, it used to be free reign for them. They're like, hey, I could take the shot. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great. And now it's like, okay, if I take the shot, I'm going to get stuff thrown back at me. And it's just completely diminished the number of people who are willing to attack Charger fans. That's how I started. That's why I started the Twitter account. And it's been very effective. And, I couldn't have done it without the help of a bunch of great people. But that's been my experience since then. The Twitter account has somewhat evolved because there's been plenty of useful things that I find that are not just fighting back, and, I tend to become a source of information of like stadium stuff, finance stuff, details like that. But that's how and why I started.
That's awesome. Well, and I like that there's a group of people holding people accountable for just saying whatever they want, whenever they want, for no good reason. It's just a lot of the vitriol and anger was coming out of Twitter, and I wouldn't go on Twitter because it was just a bummer. So, and I've noticed in the last year or so that, there's a lot more positivity and a lot more fans on there actually engaging and talking, and it's been a lot better. And it sounds like you had a little bit to do with that.
We had a lot to do with making it safer, but there's actually been a whole new crop of people who came on. Like I call them the Gen Z people. I call them millennials, but I realized my age group was off. There's a lot of 16 to 20-year-old Charger fans who are jumping on Twitter, and they've been like some of the most entertaining people out there. There's like Keenan MVP, Chargers Union, Derwin Uzami. These are people who didn't grow up with LT, didn't grow up with Phillip Rivers, and it's like a whole new generation who's out there, and they're providing a lot of great, fascinating information. And I just think it's amazing that they're there.
No, it's awesome.
But,
And
yeah,
that-
I mean,
that's how
it's
we
different.
get the new fans too. That's how you build it, and you make it exciting, you make it fun. I love what the social media has done with like the new uniforms and how funny they are with social media. It's like bringing in, like you said, some of these newer fans on board and making it like entertaining and fun.
So it's very interesting about the social media. In 2017, when they first moved to Los Angeles, their media team was trash. You know, I mean, they didn't even know that they could block people.
Yeah.
The concept of like, I directly messaged the head and I'm saying, why are you, because Chargers would tweet something and every reply would be the 14 heaters and no one would actually comment on the Chargers posts that were Charger fans.
Yeah.
And I actually messaged the main guy, hey, how come you're not blocking these people? And he said, what do you mean blocking people? I'm like, how does the head of Chargers social media not know how to block people?
Yeah.
It was just the most amazing thing ever that I was the person who told them, hey, you should be blocking people. And they hired Megan and they hired Colton. And from that moment on, they've been top of the line. I still wish they would block some people, but, you know, I mean, you know, they've been amazing since then.
Yeah,
So
got to keep it interesting for your your clan of people to go after them. So it keeps me entertained. I just saw something today where there's like actually like a voting going on for the best like troll destroyer. What is that all about?
Okay, so you know, I mean, there's a group of 20 to 30 people who have, throughout the time, still been crying and attacking fans, and you know, there's about 12 active people in the group chat of my group chat. We call ourselves Lord Telesco's Salt Team 6 right now. That's our current working title. It was Emperor Spanos' Salt Team 6. We've been Salt Grinders. You know, that name changes every couple of months. But there's been 12 active members who like all contribute over the 2 years. Some of them want to remain anonymous for good reason, but it's me, Daniel Lay, have been two of the names. That's VFX Soldier, and then there's another guy who went by the Salty San Diegan. We've done a lot of the work in making sure that anybody who repeatedly attacks people feels the pain back. And there are some of these Twitter accounts that created fake profiles solely to attack Charger fans, and they thought that they could actually attack us and remain anonymous. And the greatest thing ever is when we start figuring out who they are.
Yeah.
You know, they might post a picture from a year ago, or, you know, they might get tagged in something, and we're able to track them down and figure out, hey, this guy's name is Toby McDonald. Hey, this guy's name is John Thompson. And the second we figure out their actual name, they completely stop.
Yeah.
And they their whole world changes, because there's one guy who would like attack reporters who supported the Chargers. He would attack businesses that were trying to support 5 North Bolt. And that's the guy who attacked reporters, attacked businesses. We found out who he was. You know, he actually threatened to do bad Yelp reviews. We found out who he was. We found out what his business was. We didn't do anything with that outside of post who he was and post pictures of him taking his Christmas picture in a I Hate the Chargers shirt.
Wow.
But, you know, that pissed him off. He's like, how can you let people know who I am? I'm like, what the fuck? You create a burner profile. You think you deserve anonymity?
Yeah, exactly.
And so, you know, I mean, he asked everybody, okay, who's the best Charger Twitter trolls out there? And I'm Go LA Bolt /JalBMD /Herbert MVP, and Daniel Lay is now going under the name Chris Gansey, and there's a couple other people, my friend DTL11, who I've known for a while, and he created a poll on Scott Kaplan's thing, and we just found it absolutely hilarious that he created a poll on who it was.
Yeah.
And who's the biggest LA troll. So let me tell you about why VFX Soldier is called Chris Gansey.
Okay.
You'll find this one interesting. There was a guy who was a complete dick to Charger fans. He went by a name UCSB Gaucho, and like for 2 years he was like horrible, one of the worst people out there. And then we found out who he was, and his name is Chris Gansey. And so Daniel set up a new Twitter account and used the name fake Chris Gansey and used Chris Gansey's pictures for his profile. And so that's why VFX Soldier / Daniel Lays, his actual Twitter handle is fake Chris Gansey.
Nice.
So.
That's awesome. Well, there was one I saw on Twitter today that literally I could not stop laughing. I think you might have posted it, where it was just a picture of this guy with his truck and the fact that he needed like a step up to get inside of his truck. It was like the most subtle but funniest burn I have seen in a long time. So well done if that was you.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I can't take the full credit. I'm not the one who found out who he was, but yeah, that guy told everybody he called the police on us when we found out his real name is Aaron McKinnon.
Oh, wow.
I'm just like, okay, you can't call the police on us. Tell the police that, hey, we found out your real name is Aaron McKinnon and you're 5'2".
Yeah, dude. There's
funniest
consequences. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, the funniest thing is, like, there's another guy who kept calling Charger fan fat. He kept saying he was fat. It turned out this guy is a 5'2" overweight guy who likes to dress up as Roman soldiers on the weekend and do play fights. And we found that out, and there's like pictures of him dressed up as Roman soldier, and like it's like from the movie 300, where you have a bunch of tall, good-looking guys, and then you have him, the little short dwarf guy wearing the same uniform, and we were just dying beyond belief.
Oh man!
So like I don't know what it is, but every time we find out who these people are, there's something that is outrageously funny about who they are, and it's rare that we're like, hey, this is just a normal person. So
yeah.
That's what's kind of made it a lot funner when we do these searches.
Well, keep up the good work, because not only is it good for our fandom, but it's also good for just having a good laugh on Twitter. So thank you for that. Last thing, we usually try to ask everybody kind of like a general question about the Chargers. What has been your favorite move this offseason? What's been something that you're most excited about?
What's been my favorite move? I am excited about getting Herbert. But that was kind of expected. The second we got the number 6 draft choice, it's like, oh, okay, this is coming.
Yeah.
The favorite, so I won't call that because it's kind of expected. The trading of Russell Okung for Trey Turner, that is highway robbery.
Yeah.
Okung was gone or retired at the end of this year, and suddenly we got a Pro Bowl guard who has at least 5 to 6 to 7 more years on his contract.
Yeah.
I'm just like, how is Tom Telesco doing that? That was just amazing. So that's my favorite move of the offseason.
That's awesome. I can't wait to see him play. I really like the Linval Joseph too. Like, I remember watching him play a lot, and I'm really excited about him. So a lot of fun things this year, though. A lot of fun offseason moves.
Yeah. I just hope that we get to actually watch him in person. I don't think it's going to happen, but.
Well, our podcast, we got tickets to the Atlanta game. So we're fingers crossed we're going to be there and join it. And maybe we can meet up in a tailgate or something.
We shall see.
All right, man. Well, hey, thank you so much, Josh. Really appreciate it. And we will talk to you later.
No problem. Have a good day, Kevin.
You too.
All right. Josh from LA. Thanks for being our warrior on the front lines of Twitter. I do not have a Twitter presence, so I was unaware of all of these shenanigans happening, but good to know that somebody out there is fighting for us.
Seriously, and he's the troll hunter, dude. He's just hunting trolls. He's got a posse and they're taking people out, and it makes me really happy. And I followed him specifically because he was just saying funny stuff, showing awesome things, and calling these people out for being dicks. And you need that. You need accountability. It's like you said, you start telling these people what's up, and then they start going away, and then like the whole dynamic of our Twitter changes. And it was just it was good to hear that there's and he's a new fan, a couple years old. This isn't, this is the new breed.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Right. Yeah, the new breed is not used to just being pushed around like most of the Charger fans. Like, yeah, we're the Charger fans. We're neglected on national TV, and
we're used to getting kicked in the nuts.
Yeah,
so.
we're used to people talking crap. And this guy's it's just like online special forces.
Yeah,
he's like, you talk shit on me. You don't talk shit on me. I talk shit on you, bro.
Yeah, Steven Johnson of
you
Orange County.
LARPing Roman soldier, 5'2".
I like
That
how
was
oh
we
my
shit was
God.
funny. I couldn't
I
stop
like it.
laughing at
I
that.
like how we referred to their squad as the Resistance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's like Star Wars. I love it. It's
Yeah.
fucking amazing.
So awesome.
It reminds me, there was a Saturday Night Live sketch about basically like trolls online that have to come on to a show. And it's like, it's crazy how people just hide behind anonymity and just expect to not get called out. But when all they do is simply say what your name is or any specific facts about you, all of a sudden you just disappear.
Yeah, terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Well, you must have been saying some pretty heinous shit that you do not want connected with you, because who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe your job could be in trouble.
Oh
You
yeah.
you threatening businesses and that kind of thing. Like, just don't do
Yeah.
it. Be a human being. Like,
Right.
don't do that shit. It's not okay.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I have to say, I've been pleasantly surprised with the platforms that we're on. We haven't had a huge amount of just haters out there in our comments or anything, and it hasn't been. But if we do, I'm warning you.
We've got
we have-
We'll
got
take it because
recruitments.
we're old Charger fans. We're used to getting kicked in the nuts.
But we have
Right.
an enforcer that will come after you.
right. We
And-
have a resistance.
And his name is Josh, and he's from fucking Los Angeles.
Yeah.
That's right. Don't you forget it. Excellent fan focus. Again, folks, if you ever want to chat with us, we'd love to hear from you and talk about, how you became a Charger fan and pick your brain and have you on the show. So if you ever want to do that, don't forget to hit us up. We're on Instagram, the Charger Chat Podcast, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. We're all over the place, folks. Just look for Charger Chat Podcast and we'll be there. Any other closing thoughts, gentlemen?
Kevin, I thought you had a good show today.
Yes. I was waiting
Thanks, Kyle.
for it.
Actually, that sounded genuine. And
It was genuine. I thought you had a good show. Things started rough in our pre-production stuff. There were some F-bombs thrown, but you pulled it
Right.
together like a real pro.
I harnessed the hate, and I turned it into fun talking with my voice. So
Yes.
Excellent. Love it. All right, folks. That's going to
you
do it for us.
You did a
here.
good job too, Willie. Sorry, we're leaving
No, it's
Willie
fine.
out. Willie,
I'm
you
used
did a
to
great
getting
job.
kicked in the
Willie-
nuts. I'm a
Willie's just
Charger
the
fan.
ringleader.
Willie's that constant, consistent, good performances.
I am the rock
Yes.
of this Charger Chat. So, hey, folks, that's going to do it for us here at Charger Chat. Don't forget to bolt up because we're ready for any squad, any place.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye. And now, a word from our sponsors.
Hey there, Chucky, my boy. What's new on the street? What's that? You say your car's got a flat tire. You say you need a tow. Well, say no more, my friend. What you need is Bobby Holly's towing service. Bobby Holly's towing service is the only tow service where Bobby Holly comes to you and tows the car with his bare hands. Not to worry, as long as you've got someone to work the brakes. So don't forget, when you need a tow, call the one you know. That's Bobby Holly's towing service, located in Inglewood, California.